quick, because you guys like to say that we push a certain narrative on women. What is that narrative specifically?
Well, she said it.
Yeah, you said that.
she-
Well,
I said
her
it.
and then she agreed with her. Go ahead.
What, the women should lower their idea that they're special and all that bullshit of women can't, just the anti-women shit. Like, chill out. You're not a man. Don't think you're higher than a man. Let me cheat if I want to cheat. No, like, the women are dumb, they're hoes, they're sluts. If they don't, like, it's just, that's the narrative here. That's what you push.
Is it really anti-woman or is that more pro-truth?
Okay.
I mean, if I say unflattering things,
I mean,
Go ahead.
you do say something. I mean, and I can't sit here and tell you exactly what it is, but there are moments where you don't say things that are true. You just say them like very matter of fact.
Give me an example.
I
One
just
example.
said it.
Just one example.
My
I mean,
thing is this:
I-
if you're gonna make an assertion, be
Mhm.
prepared to back it up.
Defend it.
What
Okay.
what did I say that is?
There's a couple things I can't
ahead.
call them out right now. But when they come to me, I will.
I mean,
when they come to me, I will.
come on.
Because honestly, I'll be honest with
Becca,
you.
just-
When things,
Just one
when,
thing. Just one thing.
when I don't care, I just put it in the back of my head.
but I mean,
Okay.
So-
great.
so
Hold on.
anyway-
So let me ask you this: so you didn't hear everything that
No,
I
I
guess.
did hear everything. I hear everything you say. And like I said before, there
Bruh.
are things that I agree with that you say. I can sit here and I can agree with some of the things that you say.
Okay, so you heard
But
it.
there are things that I just
Would
feel
it be
like,
fair to
okay.
say that you heard it, but you didn't necessarily listen, which is why you can't actually respond and tell me what I said that you disagree with or what is not factual?
No, I just forgot what it was. But when it comes to me, I will tell you. If at some point in this podcast, if I can think of something that you said that I thought
Well,
was
here's the
not
thing:
true,
you said it right at
then
the top of the podcast,
Yeah,
and I've
yeah.
given you a chance now to. You've heard a couple of things that I've said.
okay, so I don't believe that women only date guys for money. Like, I don't believe that that's everybody's, because
Who? I
the
never said that.
reality
Who
is that
said that?
I never said that.
he's.
He did
I said it's a
say
component of
All right.
attraction.
Okay. Yes, I
But you
agree
said,
with that.
oh,
but
that's
that's
what you're
not how
looking
you
for.
said it, though. That's not how you. That's not how he said
That's
it.
how he
though.
said it.
Okay.
And we broke it down earlier.
I mean, I didn't I ask earlier? Hey, who has more requirements of the opposite gender? Didn't I ask that?
Mhm.
So, and you said women, right?
Mhm. Yep.
So, money is a component of those things, correct?
Yep.
So,
Money
how is it that
money is the most? But you're saying that it's the most important?
it's one
Security.
of the most important? Yeah,
Okay.
it is
all
one of
right.
the most important by far.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's
Okay.
not even my opinion. That's a fact.
It's called providing.
Financial security is one of the most important factors that women look for when screening for mates. This has been how it's been since the beginning of time.
Right. And also since the beginning of time, men have always gone above and beyond to provide for women. Correct? Like
Yes.
from the beginning of
But
time.
why are they doing it?
So
Hold on. Why are they doing it?
who, men?
Yeah.
Because they want pussy.
So therefore, it's important.
Okay, right. It's important.
your friends
the
laughing at you.
dynamic.
No, it's the way she said it. I'm not laughing.
The dynamic. Hold on. The dynamic is important. It's the way that it is. So it's like you're saying, oh, women are emotional and they lack critical thinking and all this shit. And it's like, first of all, that's not true. There's a lot of women that can sit here and go head to head with you
Really?
all day long. Yes, that Princella lady. You guys were so
auntie.
auntie.
She
yes.
got roasted.
Oh, she did not get roasted.
She
You
got
guys,
destroyed.
but of course it's gonna
Yo,
look like that
They
on
made
here.
videos about her for
bro.
days. She got
But
roasted.
listen.
She had no factual points.
But because you guys railroad the
No,
woman. If you guys
the
said
audience
that, listen,
roasted her. She was
Okay.
talking nonsense.
of course they're gonna these are the non-critical thinkers. Like,
Okay.
what do you mean? Like,
So
of course they're gonna agree with everything.
Just so that
you
we can make
say.
sure that we're organized here, because you said first you said, "Oh, money's everything." I said, "No, it's not everything, but it's important." Then you say,
Okay.
"Oh, well,
It is important, but it's not something that is like, oh, I'm gonna date that guy over this guy who's not making money because he has money.
But
That's
do you
not
realize that you
necessarily
immediately
true.
followed that up by then
That's
saying,
not true.
"Well, men have been providing for women for years." And I'm
Right.
like,
Well, no.
then I said, "Why?"
I said that because to say this. I said that to say this
Go ahead.
because you think that women should tone it down and not think that they're special and this and that, but that's the dynamic. If in me I say I'm special, I'm too special for you, then you're gonna work harder to get me.
No.
Maybe not you, but there are men that will go above and beyond because they feel like she's special. There's
For
something
sex.
about her. It doesn't matter, but it's the dance. This
okay,
is
you're
just
saying
the way
from before,
that it
correct?
is.
You're saying from before?
From before what?
You're saying it's been like that for the longest.
Forever, since women and men have walked the earth. It's always
what's the
in every
difference?
single
No,
animal.
you're right. You're absolutely right. But what was different from back then
He got
to
you.
now?
You're done.
What was
He got
different from
you.
back then to now? Yeah, you fucked up.
How did I fuck up?
Yeah.
Okay.
You triggered my
But yeah, what was different from back then to now?
What's different from back then?
Yeah, why were men like busting their asses and being willing to provide security, etc., like you said, and worked hard to get women back then?
Because they had the upper hand in everything.
That was just their role, though.
They had the upper hand, but they did all the work to get the girl.
They had the upper hand as far as like money, opportunities. Like
Right.
there's not really like women had to go with men. Like you had to be a housewife, or else what happens?
That's not
Women
what I asked,
couldn't even
though.
have a fucking bank account till when like you had to
No,
be
I'm asking
married.
why did men?
Married.
But why did men do all
Now
that?
it's not like that. Women have more choices. Women have more opportunity. That's why it's not like that.
Flew
Go
over
ahead,
the head.
Myron.
The reason why men worked harder back then and why
Mhm.
men courted women back then is because they would be able to be rest assured
Mhm.
that their wife was a virgin,
Yep.
would be dutiful in the household,
Yep.
be
Okay.
able to give him children, wasn't promiscuous, wasn't being annoying,
Loyal.
would be loyal. She would
Mhm.
be able to raise his children well, and he'd be
Mhm.
able to not have to worry about getting divorced. So
Okay.
the reason why men
Mhm.
did this back then is because they were able to rest assured and get a high quality woman with a regular factory job. But those days have changed, haven't they?
They
We have women now that make their own money.
Yeah.
They're more promiscuous than they've ever been. They're more masculine than they've ever been.
Mhm.
They're more annoying. They're more crass. They're more rude. They think they're equal to a man,
Mhm.
right? All these things. They're more educated, which ends up making them more masculine in general. So men now have to work a lot harder for a woman that's lower quality.
So what's the solution? What do you think should happen then? Well, how would your society look
Well, here's the
if
thing.
you could change everything? If you could make things exactly the way Myron's world should be, how do you think it should be?
Well, here's the thing. You got to identify the problem first.
Uh-huh.
And you say, I put women down. No, I don't. I tell women to be realistic about where they actually stand.
Okay.
Most women really don't deserve a good man like that.
Mhm.
Because most girls are hoes, have a shitty
Mhm.
past, have emotional issues, have a lot of trauma,
Mhm.
etc., coming in with kids, and they think they deserve a 6'5" millionaire. And I'm saying, if you do get that guy,
Mhm.
you should thank fucking God that you got him.
Okay.
Be the best girlfriend that you could be, not be like all these other girls, and understand that you need to treat him like a fucking king, and you're not that special. He has more sexual
Okay.
market value than you. The reality is most girls,
Mhm.
okay, overinflate their sense of self-worth because of
Mhm.
Instagram, social media, dating apps, etc. They think I got 1,000 DMs. I deserve the best guy ever. Not necessarily. Not
Okay.
necessarily.
Okay. And do you give that same advice to men?
Yes, I tell men in today's day and age,
Mhm.
which I'm way hard on the men, by the way. I tell them, you need to have money. You need to get in shape. You need to get your shit together because women have the highest standards that they've ever had before, even though they don't necessarily deserve it.
Raise the bar.
Yeah, but men are
Raise the
working.
bar.
Yeah.
You
go-
have to.
No. But here's the thing. You're missing the
You-
point here. Men today have to work 10 times harder than their grandfathers
Mhm.
for girls that are 10 times worse.
Bam.
Do you see what I mean here?
Okay.
Like a guy, right, has to
Mhm.
make a lot of money
Mhm.
to attract a woman that
Mhm.
isn't a virgin, might
Right.
have a kid,
Mhm.
has trauma, is
Mhm.
going to give him an attitude, probably coming with a career, making her own money. Nigga, you can't tell me shit. She's corrupted by feminism, etc.
Mhm.
Well, that's terrible.
Okay, but what do you do about it? What's the solution then?
Well, the solution is
Go to Colombia.
women, right? Yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah. Good luck. I'm Colombian, and I can tell you it does not get any better over there.
That was a
definitely
joke.
I
does.
can tell you
That was
it
a joke.
doesn't.
It-
No,
but
it
it's
It
the
doesn't.
time.
definitely does. Because at least
Piss her
there,
off and see what happens.
no, but at least over there,
Yeah.
she's going to understand that she's a woman, you're a man, and there's that dichotomy. Versus
Okay.
here, women think that they could talk to you like a man and act like a man, all this other stuff, and they still deserve a man. And the reality is no. So a lot of guys actually, it's a whole movement called the Passport Bros. Guys are leaving the United States and going to find girls in other places.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
here's and this
I'm
is
not disagreeing with you, by the way. I agree with the dynamic being a lot tougher now. And yeah, it's true. I mean, listen, I'm not disagreeing with that because I see it myself. There are women that
so
are
how am I
definitely-
anti-woman
So
if
what
I'm
are
telling the
you-
truth?
what are you saying?
Because it's just listen.
You just talk, man.
No, I
swear to
don't.
God.
If you're agreeing with what I'm saying,
No, I
that means
don't.
you're anti-woman too.
No.
Or will you accept the fact that I just tell the truth and you might not like it, but it is what it is. Women need to bring their standards down a bit. Men need to get themselves together. And the reality
Meet
is
in
we
the
got to
middle?
bring families back. What do you mean be in the middle?
Meet in the middle.
I mean, there really isn't any meeting in the middle because at the end of the day, men need to become better. women need to lower their standards, but women aren't going to lower their standards because every girl thinks that they're special. The same mindset you literally were just fighting for a second ago.
So then the solution is men just need to be better.
No, you need to go somewhere where
Be
women
better.
appreciate you.
Well, okay.
Or find girls that
Okay.
do appreciate you, that come from a 2-parent household, that understand the importance of a masculine leader, etc., and not date girls that are hoes.
All right.
And-
So it's not here in America.
And no,
You can
So
find
you
it.
gotta
there are
go.
good women in
You
America.
gotta- you
There
gotta
are.
go,
Look,
Jack.
look next to you. They
Uh-huh.
are here. The problem is there's not too many of them.
There's not too many of them.
And you got to
Right.
really become an exceptional man to get a girl halfway decent or whatever. Basically, you're working 10 times harder. It's like hoflation. You're working 10 times harder for girls that are 10 times worse. If I'm going to be all the way 1,000.
Yeah.
Your great grandfather in the United States was able to work a factory job making, $2 an hour and have a wife at home, stay home,
Dutiful.
not be a whore, have kids, cook and clean, not give them a headache, prepare food, all that shit. You ain't getting that no more.
No,
Even if
you're
you're a
not.
multimillionaire, you ain't going to get that.
Mm-mm.
That's facts.
So explain that to me, how you could be a top 1%, if not less guy,
Uh-huh.
and still not have a girl that's going to submit and follow your lead.
Barely.
And here's the other crazy part. This is something very interesting. Mexican family comes into the country. They come together, right? Father, wife, kids come in, right? He could barely work a fucking job. He can't even put food on the table a lot of times. But what's his wife doing? She's standing by his side, supporting him. Then he eventually does find a job, takes care of them. Not making that much money, but she's still staying home, taking care of him, etc. But she's fucking by his side. But they're poor. So you're telling me a guy comes to this country illegally and is able to get a submissive, dutiful wife making no fucking money. Meanwhile, me trying to date a girl in America, becoming a millionaire, blah, 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 but you're still disrespecting me.
But she a
Tell me that's a
queen.
good trade.
She a queen though.
Tell me that's a good trade.
She a queen, Mark.
And that's why so many guys are going to Latin America. That's why so many guys are going to the Philippines. That's why so many guys are going to Eastern Asia. Because a guy that's illegally present in the United States without a job can still get a submissive woman by his side, but you would never get that shit in the United States, even as a top tier guy. That's why so many dudes are fucking pissed off and annoyed with females. And that's the truth. That's really what it is. And most guys would never admit this shit. Like they won't say it, but that's what it is, man.
Well, the world is big.
There you go.
Perfect.
But how am I anti-woman again if you agree with me?
I just don't agree that when you say that women lack critical thinking and they're, just
That's a fact though.
okay.
Look at all the inventions made in the
Listen,
world.
Myron, I'm gonna let you have that.
No,
That's fine.
no.
Go
Here's
ahead.
my thing. Look,
I'm
no,
not
no.
gonna argue with you.
It's not
I'm
about
really
arguing.
not.
It's about if you're gonna make an assertion, back it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason why I
Gotcha.
say that is because all the inventions that you enjoy in the modern world, whether it's electricity, the microphone you're speaking on, etc., it was all created and invented by men. Women don't create anything. Men create infrastructure.
Okay.
That's just how it is.
Women
Okay.
don't create anything.
They create
Besides
kids.
life.
Barely.
That's
But
it.
when I say
The most
that's
important thing.
That's very important.
fantastic, but you need a man to do that. So anyway,
Yeah,
going back to what I was saying, but
He's
men don't
firm.
necessarily need women to create infrastructure and create the first world that you know, live, and enjoy.
Okay.
Okay. If the men disappeared, you'd be fucked. Okay.
Fucked.
The lights would be turned off, infrastructure, water, all the things that you enjoy, gone.
Well, technically,
Okay.
they wouldn't be fucked.
Oh,
That's
what I'm
saying.
Go on,
So, but
Fresh.
that's what I mean when I say men are
I
more
get it,
logically
Fresh.
sound, men are better critical
So
thinkers.
what do you think would happen if all women disappeared?
We'd be able to continue surviving. We wouldn't be able to have another generation.
You guys would kill yourselves.
No, peace.
Or and fuck yourselves. You guys would fuck each other and then
peace.
kill each other.
World
Hey.
peace. Go
Yeah.
on.
Hey,
No. The
listen.
thing is that no, real talk. Like men
It
would
would
still
definitely
survive,
not be world peace.
but we wouldn't be able to continue society. Yeah, we'd be fucked.
Okay.
But we wouldn't be
I'm
able to.
glad I'm glad
No,
you,
no,
you
we'd still
corrected
survive,
yourself.
Women need men to survive. Men don't need women to survive.
I mean, that's
Okay.
Men need women to continue a generation.
It's a hypothetical. It's never gonna happen anyway.
It's
so.
Pornhub.
Okay,
But your OnlyFans.
my main point though was women lack critical thinking skills, and I just proved it with the invention situation. You have anything for that?
No.
Hold L.
Hold out.
Yeah.
All right, what about you?
All right, I have 3 questions that I've
Ooh.
been trying to get in, but
Sure.
hopefully this is my chance. So the first 2 are about short videos or clips that I've seen. So the first one, you were talking about how women desire promiscuous men or want to share
Oh.
them and stuff like that. Could you first like summarize or clarify your argument so I can like get the full scope of it?
When I say women desire promiscuous men, what I mean is that women desire men that have the capability of being promiscuous, whether they are or not. So the thing is that men that are promiscuous have certain traits that are unalienable and arousing. They typically don't listen to women. They're typically more dominant. They have leadership qualities. They're probably in shape. They have charisma. They have charm. They have a bunch of traits that a lot of women would find attractive. So when I say women like promiscuous men, they don't have to necessarily be out here fucking bitches, but they have to have traits that a promiscuous man would have.
So you're not saying that they desire the promiscuity in itself.
That could be a component. When women, then they've shown studies on this. When a man is with women, girls want him more.
But also like a part of the 37 culture study by Dr. David Buss, where he had men and women rate 61 characteristics that are conventionally deemed undesirable.
Mhm.
Women rated promiscuity, sleeps around, and unfaithfulness undesirable in short-term and the long-term mating.
I love that you use that. See, so the thing is that women typically aren't honest when it comes to self-reporting in that regard, because if a woman admits, I want a guy that runs around and fucks other bitches, that's very unflattering. Women tend to give answers that are more socially appealing. They've shown this too with the study out in Northwestern, where they had electrodes attached to a woman's genitals and her finger, and she was supposed to click on what she found attractive versus what her genitals responded to. Long story short, there was a disconnect versus what a woman said she was attracted to versus what she was actually aroused by. And the reason for that is because women typically have to give politically correct answers to not come off as whores. So they're going to say, I don't want a guy that sleeps around, etc. But let's be honest here. If a girl's with a guy, he's attractive, he's gotten her, and she finds out after the fact he's fucked a bunch of girls, she probably isn't going to go anywhere. Unless like maybe he fucked a friend of hers or some shit like that, and there's some like emotional tie where it's like, you fucked my best friend, blah, blah, blah. That might fuck you up. But in general, a man that has the capability of being promiscuous is far more attractive. That's why it's better a lot of times for women to not know, but if they find out on their own, it's different.
So you're saying that the data is not correct?
Well, it's self-reporting. So, and women are typically not honest when it comes to self-reporting, especially when it comes to their sexuality. And there's been studies that show that.
But I would believe this study because it's kind of like that study that Dr. David Buss did is kind of like the whole like foundation for.
Keep in mind, I said promiscuous traits.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily out here fucking bitches. Some girls will accept it, some won't. But men that are promiscuous have traits that are attractive. If the girl knows if he's promiscuous or not is one of two things, or is another thing.
But then we pivoted to when I asked you about like the promiscuity in and of itself, and you brought up like the study with the electrodes and everything. And I do agree with you that women do lie about like what they're attracted to, but I would argue that this doesn't apply to this specific study.
They lie about what they're aroused by.
Or aroused by, because
two different things.
In this specific study, it kind of like aligns like in general about how like short-term and long-term mating works for men, because the whole point of that study was to prove that men have lower criteria in short-term, mating than women.
Absolutely.
And so it kind of like draws certain connections. So, and you would accept that part and all the different reasons behind that, which is true. So I don't know why you wouldn't accept like this specific part about that study. That's
no. It's because it's saying that women, right? If I understand you correctly, you're trying to say here that women, when they find out that the man is promiscuous, they don't like him for short term and for long term.
Yeah, they find that trait undesirable.
Well, again, that comes to females are typically not honest when it comes to self-reporting. Like, is it flattering for a woman to say, yeah, I find promiscuous men super attractive in short term and long term?
No.
Women typically tend to lean around when it comes to self-reporting, especially when it comes to sexuality. Women are less honest when it comes to reporting things that might make them look socially, wrong. You got to remember that women are communitarian. By being communitarian, that means you need the community, right? It's only in modern day times that women have been able to survive on their own without the protection and security of numbers of men. So, and that's still ingrained in women. They still look for a protector, a provider, etc. So I say all that to say this: when a woman answers surveys like that and it shows some type of unflattering reality about her sexuality, they're less likely to be honest, right? And they've shown this, right? If you take the chimpanzee, they took a male chimp, right, by himself, and chimpanzees are the closest to human beings. By himself, showed him to female chimps, weren't interested. They put him with female chimps, the female chimps became interested again. So
I mean, we could just bring up Dan Bilzerian. His whole life is multiple women, and women just flock to him because he's Dan Bilzerian.
yeah. So pre-selection is very important when it comes to women. So that's why, like, that part, I'm like, all right, like that's kind of cap, because we know for a fact, like, I mean, going to nightclub, I think nightclubs are one of the best examples of like social dynamics between men and women that's raw, where all the women concentrated. They're concentrated in the section with the guys that have the highest perceived status in that social situation. They got the table, they got the girls, they got 20 girls in there, and the women are there. So women say, oh, I don't want a promiscuous guy, etc., but they want a guy that's capable of being promiscuous, whether he is or not. Now, some girls, you're right. Some girls might say, you know, I found out he fucked 100 girls. Okay, I'm not going to be interested anymore. But if the girl has some type of investment in the man and she finds out that he had sex with 100 girls, she's way less likely to leave.
Okay.
So,
all right.
I had two other questions. So my second question was about how you were talking about. It was a clip. You were saying how like women are like they just say like stupid stuff on the podcast and everything, and you were saying how like if you're a beautiful woman, men will like pretend to listen to you, or if they do, like it's because of your beauty, like they'll tolerate what you have to say. And then if you're an ugly woman, men don't really want to care about like what you have to say because they don't find you attractive. So my question is like, what type of women, or what type of woman do men like listen to or value their intellectual, I guess, like intellectual thoughts, or like, I don't want to say, well, yeah, I would say opinion that's like based in logic. And if it's none, then, you know, that would be an honest answer. But I just want to know like the type.
So when it comes to female opinions, women have to earn the right for their opinion to be valid. And what I mean by that is, like, unfortunately for women, one of the things that sucks is the prettier you are as a female, the harder you're going to have to work to be taken seriously. And I'm sure a lot of you guys may know that if you try to go into the professional world as an attractive woman, they're going to assume you're stupid. They're going to assume you're incompetent, and they're going to kind of touch you. You're going to play with you with kid gloves, right? Unless you have a female boss, and she's going to hate on you. But a lot of times that's one of the negatives for females when it comes to your opinion, right? You have to earn the right to have your opinion taken seriously to some degree. Now, when it comes to stupid girls, what I've realized is this is the graph, the correlation. The hotter the girl is, the more insufferable she can afford to be. I hate to say it like that. That's a very crude way of saying it. But the hotter she is, the more insufferable she can afford to be. But you get to a point where the man is going to be at his boiling point, depending on how thirsty he is for sex and how many options he has. The more attractive the man, and typically the less patience they have. So a girl that's insufferable but hot will be able to last longer with a guy that's thirstier and doesn't have as many options. But if she's hot but insufferable and the guy has options and he's attractive, he's going to probably tell her to shut up. And then she's probably going to get turned on by that. So it's a win-win. Well, it's a lose for the guy that tolerates it, but that's typically the relation I've seen with girls that are pretty but annoying. Does that answer it? I think
it does. And
those are good questions.
And then my third question is like for both hosts, if you like had to choose like which weighs more than the other, would you want a woman to need you more than she wants or desires you, or wants and desires you more than she needs you?
Good question. I think the woman needs to need you more. And the reason why is because I notice when people need things, they behave much better for it. For example, if you need oxygen, you're going to stay your ass on land, right? You're not going to be going swimming and doing all kinds of risky shit because you need oxygen to live. So, I mean, that's an extreme example, but you get what I'm saying. When people need you, or when people need something, they behave in a better fashion to get what they need. And when it comes to a woman, and here's the thing, the reason why I say this is because in today's day and age, right, we tell women to be empowered, we tell women to be promiscuous, we tell women, fuck men, you don't need men, etc. The only way as a man you're really going to be able to make sure you hold the leverage and have the girl attracted and aroused by you is you need to maintain that leverage. You maintain that leverage by her needing you. Obviously, I'm not telling you to be a fucking tyrant or be an asshole, etc. But when she feels like she needs you, you're going to get the best out of her. When she only wants you, she's not going to do everything required to keep you. Because women get very lazy when in relationships a lot of the times, unless she's really with a guy that she loves and admires, respects. But if she's with a guy and she's like, I got this nigga, man. She's going to start not giving a fuck, talking to other guys, going to a club. She's going to do a bunch of fuck shit. But when she needs you, she's going to be on her best behavior. And I think that's where women need to be with a man. That's why I always say the girl needs to like you more than you like her. When you like the girl more, that's when this disrespect happens. That's when she starts doing whatever she wants. That's when she starts to wear the pants in a relationship and she loses attraction. I know a lot of girls get mad at me for saying this, but the reality is men have to have leverage in the relationship. When women have leverage, they're terrible people. So that's why I think she needs to need you. If she only wants you, it'll work for a period of time, but she needs to basically feel like she can't live without you. That's when you get the best treatment. She's cooking for you. She's giving you sex on demand. She's fucking not being a bitch. She's not being annoying. She's giving you girls when you want to have threesomes and shit. Like, that's how you get the best out of your girl. She needs to need you. Not just for financial, but like everything. For emotion, stability, leadership roles, your spontaneity, whatever it is. But yeah. What about you? She asked